Well, good morning everybody. Welcome back to another episode here on the Aussie Lawn. And as our season has pretty much drawn to an end now, it's time to tuck this buffalo into bed. So we're going to give it its final feed. And to be truthful with you, I'm probably a little bit late. We've cooled down a lot more this year than, a lot sooner this year than years gone by. And I think a lot of that's got to do with the La Nina season that we've just had. So we've had the elevated increased rainfall. We've had the cooler than normal summer. So it's obviously going to lead into the cooler, potentially longer winter. So we've had that frost already that we talked about in an episode gone by. And there's been the occasional cool morning, no frosts since that one. But again, this morning got down to 2 degrees. But again, we were only there for a short period of time, so nothing had a chance to freeze. So today, as I said, we're going to tuck this into bed. So we're going to give it a feed. We're actually going to use the Plant Doctor Champion Lawn and greens grade fertiliser. So it's a mini prill one. It's a slow release. So I've got a bit of that there left. So we're going to use the last of it on this to give it a nice slow feed into winter. And we're also going to have a cut and a trim. And you're probably wondering why it looks a bit pale in the background in places. Now, I actually, when I started to do the front lawn project, so we had the concrete driveway, the excavations, all that sort of stuff. At the time, this was growing crazy. It was growing really quick, and it was sort of getting on top of me, and I didn't get a chance. So what I did was, I broke all the rules, and I give it a fairly short cut. Now, only because I wasn't getting around to getting it mown, and it was just becoming an overgrown mess. So I give it a cut down, and it has actually recovered pretty well. So today we're going to just give it a light trim over, and yeah, that'll do it. Okay, so you'll notice here in the background, as our days here in the southern hemisphere get shorter, the sun sort of moves towards the north. So this being the southern side, as that sun progresses more to the north, this becomes more shady. So one of the main reasons I've got the buffalo here and not cooch is because of this time of year, all the way through until spring again. So you'll see this shade line right out here, and by the time we get to the shortest day of the year, it'll be out in line with these two circle gardens here. So none of this area here is going to see any direct sunlight now until sort of mid to late spring. So that's why I do it. That's the other reason I keep this stuff generally long, to give it the best chance to photosynthesize and have a nice healthy cover all over. Okay, so just point out this area here, which looks probably even on camera to be the most lighter or white part of the yard. This here is actually a good indicator for me that this is getting a little bit dry. Now, yeah, I've just finished saying we had a heap of rain, all this sort of stuff, but we've also had in recent times a lot of wind. Now, a lot of people can fall into a trap of thinking we've had a heap of rain, we can back off a lot of water, and what happens is dry patch can sneak up on you really, really quickly. So although this season I haven't actually had to water with my irrigation system a great deal, in fact I think it's only been about, I reckon if I've had to use 1 month's worth of irrigation this whole summer, I reckon that's probably pretty generous. So I've been fortunate enough to get through this whole summer using the majority of rainwater from the sky. So yeah, this area here is sort of telling me that it's been slower to recover because it did actually dry out a little bit. So a bit of fertiliser might help to bring that along as well. So that's what we're planning on. Okay, so this was the area through here that we did all our little experiments on in springtime. So we did our scalping, we did our scarifying, we did our top dressing and all that sort of stuff. So you'll see here, this was the area that was top dressed. It's all recovered now. Obviously, top dressing is not going to kill buffalo, but as we saw earlier on in one of those earlier episodes, it does make it slow to recover. So I sort of suggest only really top dressing to correct ground surface levels, rather than some sort of helping the plant grow better sort of scenario, if that makes sense. So yeah, anyway guys, look, let's get a bit of a mow on. We'll trim all this area up, we'll do some brush cutting, some mowing, and we'll finish off with some fertilizing and irrigation. it actually came up really well. I sort of thought that it'd neaten up, but I didn't actually think it'd look quite as good as it came up, so happy with that. Righto, so we're going to chuck out our fertiliser now. It's only a small area, this, only 100 square metres, so I'm just going to use one of these hand spreaders today. It's quick, it's effective, they're great for little tight spots too, so yeah, always good to have one of these on the shelf for just smaller projects. Just the amount of product that comes out here on the side, 1 to 5, that just basically changes the amount this little trap door here opens. But yeah, anyway, we're going to give this a whirl here. I have used it before. I don't know if I've used it on the channel or not, but I have used it before, and you know what? It's actually a good little fertilizer. It's a slow release. It's from the Plant Doctor, and I think it's still active. I've got a discount there, a 10% discount at checkout there, Brenton 10, one word, which will give you 10% off your purchases if you're into the Plant Doctor stuff. But this stuff here, it's a greens grade sort of product. It's a mini prill. It's not too bad. The ratios, the NPK, what have we got here? Nitrogen 16.6, phosphorus 1.13, and potassium 8.98, and then there's a heap of trace elements as well. So rates for this product are between 2 and 4 kilos per 100 square meters. I reckon there's about half a bag left here, so I'm just going to use the whole bag. So it's going to chuck down about 2.5 kilos, and that'll do us today. I'll give you a look at it. So I don't want to get too much on the grass there, but nice size for most home lawns, and really well priced. So check it out on the website there, and yeah, not a bad little slow release product. Righto, a little left in the bag, so we'll just have to come back and top up this little hopper when it's empty. Righto, so we'll just give that a water in now. The usual sort of 6 to 10 max millimeters of irrigation will be enough to get that stuff started and doing its thing. Now, we may or may not come back here for a little while again. If we get a good response from the fertilizer, actually no, either way we will. We'll come back in a few weeks' time. We'll just see how things are going, see the response that we're getting. I can reveal that next season here on the Buffalo, we're going to start an experiment with the benefits of cutting and mulching and cutting and catching. So going to divide this lawn into half, and for the entire season post renovation, so after we've scalped it and all that sort of stuff, we're going to mow the exact same half for the whole season with the catcher. We're going to mow the exact same other half, we're going to mow the other half for the entire season in mulching mode, and we're going to have a look at to see if there's any visual benefits, see if we're getting any better colour, seeing if we're getting any difference to thatch build-up or how the grass responds. So stay tuned for that, and I can also let you know that we're going to be using a new mower to do the experiment. So chuck it in the comments below, tell me what you think the new mower might be, because it's probably left of field and something that I never thought I'd have here. So put in the comments, let me know what you think the new mower is going to be. I do believe it was leaving the warehouse today, so today is Friday I can't remember, I'll put it on the bottom of the screen. So yeah, probably by the time you see this video, that mower will be here, and I'll introduce you to it. As the season starts to wind down a bit now too, I'm going to do a few more reviews. So I've got a few things coming up in the way of, I guess, irrigation style products as well. So a few things to look at, a few things to review. I've hoped you've enjoyed the episode. Have a great week. We'll catch you next time here on the Aussie Lawn.